My 30F, BF, 24M, has been lying to his family that I'm abusive. Everything is perfect otherwise. How can we work through this together? I'm sorry for the length of this post and also how convoluted it is. My mind is all over the place right now. As the title says, I recently found out that my partner has been claiming that I'm abusive toward him for what appears to be most of our relationship. We have been together for a little over a year. We also live together and talk about spending the rest of our lives together kind of thing. So it has been a complete shock to me. He has a very close family, which I adore. In fact, his sister and brother-in-law own the house that we are renting, where we are both on the lease. We spend birthdays and holidays together and quite frequently visit each other's houses. My partner stays at his mom's house every Monday night and has lunch with her during his work days as she lives right around the corner. My partner and his mom are particularly close, and I've always loved this dynamic about them, especially since I come from a broken home myself and didn't really have parents at all. I've actually cried a little bit when talking to my partner about how lucky he is to have such good mother. I will admit I am a little bit envious. The only thing I've ever been somewhat uncomfortable with is that every time we fight, he suddenly leaves to his mom's house overnight. I'm not talking about the type of fight where anything gets broken or anything, but heated arguments about silly stuff like whether children should be taught gun safety or whether voice changes also happen to females during puberty. We've had maybe 4 of these disagreements. 2 days ago, my partner called me from work, upset that he had had an argument with his mom about me and that he doesn't think that she will speak to him again. Apparently, she had asked what my problem with her was. My partner replied saying he doesn't think I do have one. He said to me it seemed really out of the blue and that she had ended it with she's not going to waste her breath with me as long as I'm acting this way. I told him I'd reach out to her and let her know I really don't have a problem with her, which I did, but no reply. I picked him up a couple of hours later. He was more upset than last time, saying she won't stop messaging and it's borderline harassment at that point. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, as he is extremely close with his mom. We waited until we got home to read the messages. This is what the message said. I didn't out you to her about the food. You told me you had brought it up with her several times, and it always ends in a fight. There were more messages mainly pointed at me playing victim and that I should speak what I actually want, etc., but I don't think they are relevant. I was stunned and couldn't speak for a second and then asked, why is she saying that? It wasn't even related to what he said the argument was about. It was referring to a time when my BF's mom had come around with his favorite foods one time. I actually remember her saying something like, since he hasn't been eating what he likes lately, or something. I had a weird feeling about it then, but my BF reassured me. Plus, we make our shopping list together and come up with ideas together. We also have our own designated cooking nights, so I kinda just assumed it wasn't pointed at me. I was adamant about sorting it out, and so we called his mom. He started explaining to her that he hadn't even bought getting food that he likes up with me yet. His mom said, well, you told me that every time you bring it up it ends in a fight, and that you hadn't eaten in 3 days. He started yelling, no, that's true, and started to cry before storming out of the room. His mother and I talked for a little bit, and apparently he had told his mom that I thought that she had disrespected me and undermined me by bringing him food. I wanted to ask what else had been said, but it wasn't the best time while my BF was so distraught, so we ended the call. I went outside and hugged him and said it was okay and not to worry about it, that it's something we can work through. He calmed down a lot. I suggested therapy and he agreed, but we haven't really talked about it since. I have no idea how his mom must feel right now. The crazy thing is I kind of had a feeling he was doing something like this because his family's attitude toward me had changed, and also during one of the heated disagreements about 8 months ago. He literally told me things about myself that I know are not true. He told me I make him walk on eggshells. He told me that I follow him into rooms during arguments and don't give him space. Again, these are not true. He says I snap out of the blue and that I'm always bringing up the past. I was stunned and ended up saying none of that is true, and that if I am having that kind of effect on him, I'd rather we separate. He backpedaled and said that his last relationship had messed him up a bit, and that he was putting some past resentments onto me, and that he knows I'm not like that. We left it at that, but now I'm wondering if the stories he tells me about his ex are even true? And if he said those beliefs about me to my face, I know there is most likely more that he has lied to his mom about, and I'm terrified to find out. We seemed perfect and happy apart from the occasional disagreement, but we always seemed to get through it. I'd confidently call him my best friend.